Hello, hello, hello! Conrad and Lucy and Caleb too. It's nice to see that Caleb is joining in to the fun and festivities of the Fantastic Four fables. I'm ready to tell you a new story, and this one is kind of fun, as you will see. It's a battle between, look at that, the Thing and the peerless power of the Silver Surfer. Well, the Thing's got a lot of power himself, doesn't he? I wonder how the two will stack up against each other, and why is it that they're fighting? Well, let's jump into the story and find out. All right, the title is When Strikes the Silver Surfer, but before the Silver Surfer strikes, we see that the Fantastic Four are returning from their adventure with Black Panther, or at least three members of the Fantastic Four are returning. You'll remember that the Human Torch and Wyatt Wingfoot are behind in the Near East. They're searching for the trapped Inhumans. But Reed and Sue return to FF headquarters, accompanied by the ever-loving blue-eyed Thing. And now as the curtain rises and the house lights dim, Reed speaks. All security units register positive, honey. What sweet nothings in her ear. No attacks have been made in our absence. And Sue says, that's wonderful, darling. With no new dangers in sight, we can continue our honeymoon. All right, so Reed and Sue are about to go traveling on their honeymoon. Well deserved, since they've hardly had a moment to breathe since their wedding. So what's the Thing going to do? He says, since you two don't exactly need no chaperone, I'm cutting out for a while. Wait till Alicia hears that her lumpy lover boy is back in town. Hey, ring, ring, ring. Why don't she answer? She's not there. That's going to make Benjamin very suspicious. And so I bet he's going to go over and check out Alicia and see what's going on. What do you think? All right, here he is. He's stripped off his big old heavy suit. He says, it's too blamed hot to go jet cycling around town in my Sunday go-to-meeting duds. Being as how it ain't air-conditioned out here the way it was inside, I'll give the natives a treat by appearing in all my orange-skinned glory. Shoosh! And so he flies away on the jet cycle. All right. Meanwhile, far, far away, atop one of the most inaccessible peaks in Europe, we see these mountain climbers. One says, what an indescribable thrill! What a glorious triumph! Within seconds, we'll reach the very summit. We'll stand where no living being has ever stood before. We'll be famous throughout the world. A feat like this may never be duplicated again. It took 2 months of planning, of sacrifice, but it was worth it. We've done the impossible. Well, how impossible do you think it is? Not so impossible that the Silver Surfer didn't get there ahead of him. Oh no. When the first member of the dauntless little expedition finally reaches his goal, his startled eyes behold, there's someone here before us. He beat us to it. But who? What? Well, we know. It's Galactus's great herald, the Silver Surfer, and he's trapped on the Earth, but he's touring and visiting all of these wonderful places. And he says, I have learned all there is to learn of the planet Earth. Well, I doubt it. There's still a lot to learn. He says, the planet upon which Galactus has sentenced me to remain forever. And now the time has come. The Silver Surfer shall return to the female human who had once befriended him. Do you remember the female that befriended him? I do. Who is it? It's Alicia, the Thing's girlfriend. Now I begin to suspect why the Thing is fighting the Silver Surfer. We'll see. Here he comes swooping across the skies. He's saying, I who have crested the currents of space, who have dodged the meteor swarms and outdistanced the fastest comets, I must resign myself to this prison which men call the earth, because I dared give up the freedom of the universe to aid the hapless humans. But I must have no regrets. Whatever destiny awaits me, I shall be true to my trust, though I am a stranger in a world I never made. Protected by the silvery coat of galactic glaze I wear, no temperature can affect me, no wind or storm can slow or stay my flight. Whoosh! And I, who can track a grain of dust through the infinite void of space, can sense the presence of any living being I may seek. So it is that the unearthly tracking power of the Silver Surfer guides him unerringly to a shorefront retreat along the Atlantic coast. Beautiful house, lots of gingerbread and a porch. And he says, she whom I seek is surely within, therefore I shall descend. Special bullpen note, we'd like to explain Surfy's tracking power to you, but it would be necessary to use many extraterrestrial adjectives, and we wouldn't want to confuse those of you who speak only basic English. All right? That's just their way of saying, we don't know either. And he looks in through the window. He thinks she stands among the fruits of her labor, but her mind is elsewhere. She speaks. I thought I might forget how much I miss Ben by coming here to do my sculpting in solitude, but it's no use. I can't get him out of my mind. If only I knew where he is, if I could know that he's safe. Then the sightless sculptress picks up a nearby guitar and softly begins to strum. Ben always loved to hear me play and sing. Ooh, I think the Silver Surfer likes it too. He thinks those sounds like the distant sighing of a cosmic breeze. And Alicia says, if only Ben could hear me now. Tap, 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 tap. Someone at the window, but who can it be? Tap, tap, tap. In a single gesture, a lightning-like bolt of sheer energy surrounds the Silver Surfer, instantly dissolving the window which stands between him and the blind Alicia. Then he speaks. He says to her, do not fear, it is I. She says, that voice, one which I never thought I would hear again. You've returned, as you said you would. Yes, says the surfer, I have flown over this strange planet upon which humans dwell. I have seen men build and destroy. I have seen this world, which could be a paradise, reduced to a planet of greed and fear and hatred. I have seen humanity with its heritage betrayed. I can stomach no more. But then, even as the weary, heartsick Silver Surfer speaks, here comes the Thing. He says, this is where Alicia's landlady said she cut out to. Poor kid, she came up here to work on them swinging statues of hers, and I was nutty enough to be jealous of her. I should have known I'm the only pussycat in the world for my gal. Hi, Mrs. Benz, he says, just walking right through the door. I heard Alicia was up here. How's about telling her that her one and only is downstairs, huh? Mr. Grimm, you startled me. Well, yeah, he startled me too. Yeah, I guess it ain't every day that a Prince Charming comes charging in. Hey, wait a minute. What's a man's voice doing up there? A man's voice? Asks Mrs. Binns. Well, it sure ain't Minnie Mouse. And this is Alicia speaking to the surfer. She says, "You sound so discouraged, so disappointed, but you mustn't be. There is so much beauty, so much goodness here on earth." And Surfer answers, "Somehow I can believe that when I gaze at you, when I hear your voice, so gentle, so filled with kindness." "Mr. Grimm," hollers Mrs. Binns, "wait, what are you going to do?" "I'll write you a letter. If that's who I think it is, trying to beat time with my girl." Crunch! He squeezes the banister so hard it breaks. That's not the only thing that's about to break. "So," hollers the thing, "I was right." "Ben," says Alicia, "is that you?" And the surfer asks, "Why do you enter into with such a rage, my friend?" "Stand away from him, baby. Do you hear? Get away from him." And he slams the door. "You figure it out." Crack! And so the thing uses what power he has, and he surprises the surfer and knocks him completely out of the building. He goes flying out over the cliff and over the sea. "Ben, Ben," says Alicia, "what have you done?" "Something I should have done a long time ago." The surfer realizes my former friend is displeased. He has resorted to the expedient that all earthlings fall back upon: savage, unthinking, brute force. Shoom! Here comes his surfboard. So it won't be long until the surfer turns around and gets back into the fray. But why? What motive can he have? Did we not once battle Galactus together? And what purpose did he hope to serve by striking me? I who am nourished by the energy of the infinite. I who possess power enough to divert the course of a falling star. Well, yeah, I think I'd think twice before tackling the Silver Surfer, but of course the thing never thinks twice. And speaking of the thing, he says he managed to get on that blasted surfboard of his. He's coming back again. This time I'll belt him clean up to the moon. "No, Ben, no," says Alicia. "You don't understand. My darling, wait, listen to me." And she thinks, it's no use. He's so consumed by jealousy that he doesn't even hear me. "Ben, he isn't even human. He doesn't understand. He means no harm. Ben." But Ben jumps out the window to land outside. He says, "Come on, you blasted silver skunk. Come on back and fight. I ain't through with you yet." So angry. "If you insist upon a fight," says the surfer, "I shall not disappoint you. Go on, keep it up. Talk big so you can impress Alicia. A fat lot of good it'll do you." But Alicia hollers, "Ben, it's you I'm worried about, not him. He's too powerful." That's not going to help the situation. "Oh, Ben, my poor foolish darling." "That's it," says the thing. "Come on down here where I can clobber ya." "If fight we must," says the surfer, "I am bound to use the weapons of the Silver Surfer. Weapons such as this irresistible cosmic blast. Zack! Erg! That cosmic blast. Wow. It must be something powerful. "Never shall I truly understand the human race. What do they seek to prove by their eternal battling? What glory do they find in harming a fellow being? Or, as I sometimes suspect, have I been condemned to a world where madness reigns? Well, yes, human beings can be crazy. None crazier than the Thing. Although he means well, he's really stuck his fist in it this time. And there he is, laying in the rubble, just ugh. That cosmic blast really got to him. Well, it's time for one of those infamous changes of scenery that we come upon so often in Fantastic Four stories. So let's figure out where we are now. Let us pause just for a brief moment or two to visit a lonely pass in the far-off Himalayas, where a silent gyro cruiser sights a stream of fearful refugees fleeing from a nameless menace. All right, since it says gyro cruiser, we're looking right here at the round sphere that the Black Panther provided to, yeah, Johnny Storm and Wyatt Wingfoot. Wyatt says, "Look, Johnny, the stream of refugees is still evacuating the valley." Johnny says, "We've got to learn what they're afraid of, even though it means delaying my search for the Inhumans. Prepare to land, Wyatt." And so here comes the gyrosphere. And it says, "Whatever they're running from must be in that valley below." Right, Wyatt, so that's our destination. And let's hear what the refugees are saying. "Faster, faster, the monster may soon be upon us." What monster? "Do not fear, my child, we shall escape. None that live are safe in the valley of the monster." Ooh, I don't know that I want to see the monster. A few seconds later, the gyro cruiser lands, and Wyatt asks, "What do you think we'll find here, Johnny? It looks completely deserted." "Whatever it is," says Johnny, "I've seen enough scary movies to know that it probably won't show up until nightfall. All right, when it's all dark and spooky and creepy." So we might as well make ourselves comfortable until then. At least we won't have to worry about forgetting to bring matches, because Johnny can start a fire all by himself. And Wyatt says, "It gets dark pretty quickly in these mountains. I can hear something moving on the cliff above us." Johnny says, "Whatever it is, we'll be able to handle it." Then he thinks, "I hope." And now, look, there it is, up there on the top of the mountain. Do you recognize it? Do you know who the monster is? Well, the Marvel editors say, "Just to prove we never break our promises, we told you we'd only pause for a brief moment or two. So what better time than this to return once more to our former scene of battle?" And so now we leave Johnny and Wyatt with the the monster up here on top of the mountain. I think you know who it is. I know who it is, and we'll answer that the next time we come to this scene. All right, so back to Silver Surfer and the Thing. Thing hollers out, "You blasted flying freak, I ain't licked yet. Just wait. Zit! Your courage is truly laudable," says the Surfer, "but you are like a child attempting to battle the elements themselves." "Yeah," hollers the Thing, "just let me get my paws on you, and you'll see how fast this here child can grow up." "Where are you? Stay still and fight like a man." So, poor Thing, he's earthbound, but not the Surfer, who can fly rings around him. "All right, if you won't get off that blamed board of yours so I can get my hands on you, then I'll whump you with my feet." And here comes the Surfer on his board, and look, there's the Thing's foot. He says, "Maybe I ain't no blasted Hulk, but I can still punt a chunk of boulder out of the ground with the best of them. Throom!" And look, he kicks that boulder just like it's a football. Crack! I kind of figured that'd bring you down to earth, you crummy Casanova. Crack! All right, so the Thing kicked a field goal and knocked Surfer off of his board. Well, what's going to happen next? Now he's within reach of the Thing's mighty punch. He said, now that I got you where I can reach you, I'll stand still, blast you. It'll only hurt for a minute. But then he thinks, what's the matter with me? That milk-white monkey's trying to steal my gal away, and I gotta force myself to hate him. Why do I keep pulling my punch every time I toss a haymaker his way? Well, there's no point in it. He's not gonna hurt him anyway. Surfer says, though you are merely an earth mortal, your natural strength is almost beyond my comprehension. But even for one who rides the currents of space, the first law is self-preservation. And so, watch out. While our battle continues, I shall intensify my energy build up until Thing thinks, what's happening? My fist can't reach him. At last, my own strength is great enough to match yours. You have forgotten that I am not bound by the physical laws of Earth. Thing says, you're wasting your time, mister. You ain't gonna talk me out of the picture. Surfer answers, you still do not see that I can increase my extraterrestrial energy to almost any degree I desire. And now I am able to battle you in your own manner, whack, using the primitive method of bare fist against defenseless body. I'll show you who's defenseless. Oh. Man, I tell you, the Surfer just wallops the Thing. But, says the Surfer, I perceive that you shall never surrender. Therefore, I must take extreme measures. I must increase my energy to atomic strength. Atomic strength. That's even greater than cosmic strength. If the Surfer has been able to battle the Thing to a stalemate already, what's going to happen next? Well, guess what? We won't find out what happens next until the next time we come together to finish out this battle between the Thing and the Silver Surfer. And also, I think we'll get another peek at the monster and Johnny and Wyatt Wingfoot. So we have more to come. Y'all hang in until the next Papa video. All right. Love y'all. Mwah. Bye-bye.